were as well?
Yeah, I grow. That's my passion. I've done it ever since I was 17 years old.
So I'll ask you a couple growing questions as well then,
Sure.
if I remember. I better write it down here real quick.
It doesn't look like anybody's showing up, huh? That's typical.
And we got two viewers. Usually I wait about 10 minutes. The past few times, Jack K and Dead Cynic, they would be live when I would start mine up, and they'd send a bunch of people over. So I was getting quite a bit of viewers. I don't know if that's the case. That's going to be the case now. Average before then was like 10 to 20. And like the last one was what, 40 viewers at one point.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's all good.
Red Pill, Ain't Up OG Kush, DA Stoner. Thanks, guys, for showing up. You guys could let us know if the audio is coming through okay for both of us, and if you can see Bingus. You should only see him, basically. Red Pill, if you could help out with that, or anybody else, thank you.
DA Stoner, cheers. Red Pill, what's up, my man? Hannah, how are you, sir?
Hanep said we're good.
Is that Mr. or Mr. Hannah? It's pronounced Hannah.
You never know, man. It could be one or the other.
Gonna take a rip for you folks here. If everybody's got any Bingus, it's time to smoke some Bingus.
I'm gonna smoke some here right now.
Let's smoke some Hennep. Hey,
let's do it. I'm bagging a bowl of my own stuff here that I grew and harvested not too long ago.
Oh yeah. Well, we're tuned up.
Got about a good 7 minutes before we start up.
Beninya.
Welcome, Beninya.
I was loving watching you trim that Gorilla Glue, buddy. It was like my mouth was watering, and you're just like, seems like you've done that a little bit.
I interviewed Beninya a few days ago. Guys, check that out. I do edit all of these eventually. Pretty far behind at this moment because I've just been doing so many live interviews, but eventually this will be edited, and they're all edited down to 10 minutes or less, just for easier viewing, for people who watch it later. Guys, if you're not subscribed to Bingus, his link is in the description. What's up, Mr. Sparks a lot?
Sparky. What's up, man?
Sparks a lot is getting to know the cannabis YouTubers, episode 11 maybe, or 10. He's been interviewed. Red Pill's been interviewed.
Nice.
KNF, Cannabis Tutorials, will be getting interviewed. Talk to him.
KNF.
Welcome, King Kratom.
Kratom saves lives. King Kratom.
Got about 5 minutes.
Well, hey, let's have another riff.
Sure.
Let's load up some Bingus and smoke some Hennep.
Cheers.
Oh. That one did it.
King Kratom 25, surrounded by KIEF. Did you get my comment on that video? I haven't really had a chance to look. I'm not sure which video you're referring to. Maybe the last live. Let me know, and I'll check it out. Yeah, Kootenai, getting to know cannabis Instagrammers. It's not necessarily YouTubers. If you're on here, but your content is on Instagram or some other social media, it's cool. You're still, part of the community, hanging out with us here. Just your content happens to be somewhere else. That's fine. I'll interview anybody that's associated with cannabis in any way on any social media. In which the interview would still be here on YouTube, but we would point everybody to your Instagram and have people follow you there. But you do need Google Hangouts to do the interview with me. So this is going to be fun. I don't know much about Bingus. I've seen him here and there. So this is going to be fun for me as well as the viewers. He seemed like a really cool guy, interesting and a good guy. Oh, okay, King. You're talking about Metal Man 2525. Yeah, I'll check that out. uh, Kootenai Cannabis. I'm probably saying it wrong, but you want to go to hangouts.google.com on a computer, and on your phone or tablet, you would get the Google Hangouts app, which I believe is pre-installed on maybe Android phones. Otherwise, you go to wherever you download apps from, look up Hangouts, and download that. I don't usually tell people, but don't forget the thumbs up. Check out Bingus's YouTube channel in the description. Subscribe there. And share this out. Let people know we're doing an interview. I know it's kind of late. We didn't have Jack Hayes and the Dab Packs help to get people in here this time, so we might have a few less viewers. So leave it up to the chatters to share this out with your friends. Yell out from the rooftops, Bingus is getting interviewed. Oh, yeah, so, and what is that?
That is some shockwave. I don't know if that's focusing.
Not really focusing. We can see the colors though.
Come on.
Got to bring it down a little bit more. It's off screen now. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. A lot of red hair. Oh, there we go. Now we see it. Is that something you grew?
Yeah, I grew this in a little 16-ounce cup just to see what it would turn out, and it's one of my favorites. I re-vegged it, and I'm gonna run it big bush next time.
Yeah, I took a bunch of clones. Well, I had 5 different plants, took a bunch of clones, and some of the clones look really weird. And I think it's because I took the clones when there were already some pistils showing.
Right.
So it was like ready to flower, and that's when I took them. And yeah, it was just weird growth, single blade leaves everywhere. But now it's getting back to like more normal looking slowly.
Yeah,
so,
they reverse. They go back to the seedling leaves, and then they.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be okay in the long run, right?
Yes, indeed. Absolutely. Right. Don't give up.
Yeah. I grew 5 plants, no name seeds, bag seeds, and 5 different strains. And I only like one of them. The other 4, I'm going to seed them all so that I can, for nutrition, I'm going to have seeds for eating, and also I'm going to sprout them for eating sprouts.
Very smart.
Yeah.
Sprouts are, especially cannabis sprouts, the pure source of energy, and it's very good. Very good.
Yep. That's what I've been reading about.
Yeah.
Well, we have 13 viewers. Why don't I do a quick shout out of the people who are participating in chat, and then we'll get started.
Sounds great.
We've got Blazing 710. Welcome, King Kratom 25. KNF Cannabis Tutorials. Kootenai Cannabis. Mr. Sparks a lot. New Zealand Gorilla Grow. OMG 420. Welcome, guys. Thanks for participating in the chat. Appreciate it. Oh, we also have Big Toke just showed up. Welcome, Big Toke. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to welcome everybody and introduce you. After that, after you hear your name, if you could just pause for like 2 seconds and then say like a hello to everybody. So basically the way we do this is we're recording for an edited version. So there's times where you might answer or make a joke and I might not even laugh or smile or anything like that. I mean, it's because for many different reasons, you might not hear me respond and all that. And then if there's an interruption, it's okay. If we have to ask a question over again, it's okay. If I talked over you while you were answering a question, we might have to redo it. So just keep that in mind. It's what I call the raw behind the scenes studio version.
Okay.
Yeah.
No worries, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm flexible.
So are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Welcome everybody to the Getting to Know Show, where we get to know the cannabis YouTubers. Today I present to you my guest, Bingus.
What's up, everybody? This should be interesting.
Thank you, Bingus, for allowing me to interview you and reaching out and contacting me. We're going to get right to the questions. Number one.
Before you do,
sure.
Thank you. Surrounded by KIEF. I also want to give thanks to Psyclops. Is it Psyclops Genetics?
Yeah, he actually sponsors this channel.
Anyway, shout out to those guys and you. And let's go.
All right. Question. Oh, and just a reminder to we have 14 viewers now. If you guys could hold off on any questions, I go through my questions, and after that, we go to viewer questions. So just hold off on that, and I'll let everybody know when it's time. All right. Question number one. What does your name mean, and how did you come up with it?
Bingus means cannabis. It's back, gosh, 25 years ago, smoking in a bong. I was being a clown saying, bing bong, where's the Bingus? Let's get some Bingus into the bong and bing it up. And so, you know, recently when I started the channel, I started thinking, what's a good name? I look up Bingus in the Urban Dictionary, and it says it's a reference to weed or cannabis. And I like, wow, cool. So that's kind of the history of Bingus. And if you got any Bingus, by the way, be sure to smoke it.
Cheers. Next question. What do you use cannabis for? Medical, recreational, spiritual?
Yeah, all of that. I have post-traumatic stress. I have a neck injury. I had open heart surgery a couple years ago. So I had no trouble getting a medical card.
Where did the next question? Oh yeah, next question. Indica or sativa, and why? And do you have a favorite strain?
Well, I have so many favorite strains, and it's sativa and indica. I mean, and hybrids. I like pretty much all cannabis if it's quality, you see. And that's what I try to do is I try to grow high quality cannabis. I don't really focus on volume, but I focus on genetics and proper nutrition, proper light, and and then you get really high quality cannabis, and then I just enjoy trying them all. Like the Shockwave really surprised me, and that's the beauty of it. You know, you can throw a seed in the ground, you don't know what you're going to get sometimes. Like we were talking, you have some bag seeds, you throw them in the ground, and you know that's called pheno hunting. You're looking for, you know, a strain that you can maybe clone and, you know, be happy with.
Yep. Next question. Do you have a preference, flower or concentrates?
Well, I'm kind of weak in the lung department, so I do love concentrates, especially if they're well made. But flower, to me, is, since I grow them and I have a relationship with them, it's almost like a spiritual attachment to them. And you get to taste the terpene profiles and the smoke and just the aroma. I enjoy the whole experience, basically.
Next question. When did you start smoking?
Wow, I think I was about 14. I ran track, and we had a quarter miler who would smoke behind the dugout before he would run. He couldn't run really a good race. And so I went behind the dugout with him one time and I smoked some weed. And I had an injury at the time and I ran my best race ever. So yeah, I was kind of hooked after that.
Couple growing questions. How long have you been growing? And do you have a favorite strain to grow?
I started growing cannabis when I think I was 17. I moved out of my house and had an apartment. And back then they had these just fluorescent lights. So I got an 8-footer and some very high output tubes and grew some Hindu Kush. And it was amazing. And I you know, so, you know, I've been put in a cage twice since then, of course, for growing. And so once it became legal, I was like, yeah, you know, and so, yeah, that's kind of, I've been doing it my whole life, basically.
So how many years would you say that is in terms of?
Let's see, I'm 62, so good 40 years, huh?
Okay. Some YouTube questions. How long have you been on YouTube?
A couple years, I think. I had another account but I didn't do much with it.
So you've been making videos and putting up content for about 2 years?
Yeah.
Okay. And can you explain your channel to new viewers, new subs, and then maybe you have anything new coming up, announcements, anything like that?
It's mostly educational. I started the channel before I could even, I was waiting for my license. So I started the channel early and it was just mostly screenshots and educating and talking about, you know, the industry and all the different aspects of it. And then once I got my license, I started growing. And I don't know, what was the question again?
Explain your channel to viewers and anything new coming up or announcements.
I'm trying to come up with more content on a daily basis. I want to just give the viewers good content. You know, I used to be into graphic arts and I like to have good intros and good exits, and you know, I finally got a decent camera now, so I want them to have a good visual experience. I want them to be able to understand what I'm trying to do, what the concepts that I'm trying to get across to them. So it's mostly educational. That's what I have my category listed under anyway.
I went to your channel real quickly. Haven't had a chance really to check it out before, and I clicked on the one with I seen Daily Dabber Weekly. I'm like, wait a minute, that's my friend. I've known him for like 2 years. That dude's hilarious. I used to call him my favorite YouTuber because he's just so funny. And I clicked on it and I started laughing. That was awesome what you did, man. I wish you would have answered, but leaving it on a answering machine or whatever voicemail was cool too. It was just hilarious.
Yeah, Daily Dabber, dude, he's funny. He's just a funny guy, and I was on his channel, and he told us, yeah, I got a Daily Dabber hotline. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna blow it up. So I took a video of it.
Awesome. Let's see. Next question. What would you say is the one main thing you want viewers to get from your channel?
Um, One main thing. I just want them to like the content. I want them to be educated, basically. Get something out, something of value, I guess. Find some value. And if you do, click the like button and subscribe.
And have you had any influence for making videos? And do you have any shout outs?
I've been doing videos for a long time. Oops, sorry. I've been doing videos for a long time. I actually worked for several companies making videos, doing websites, search engine optimization, and quite frankly, I'm pretty sick of it. But so doing this now just for myself, it's fun, but it's not hard for me because I've been doing it for so long.
And do you have any shout outs?
Oh, the Dad Pack, of course. I mean, that's what kind of got me totally inspired. Dead Cynic, Jack K, Treehouse Boys. All right. Recently, you interviewed Ben Inya. He's very inspirational to me. And I can just go on and on. Star Delta. I mean, just look in the chat room. Hand Up OG, Scuba Steve, Mr. Sparkle. I mean, everybody in there inspires me, you see. And it's just fun. I enjoy it.
Next part is speed questions, very simple questions that require very simple answers.
Okay.
First one, what's your favorite color?
White.
What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Vanilla.
Favorite food dish?
Beef ravioli.
Your favorite drink?
Water.
You have a favorite alcoholic drink?
I quit drinking. I drink, not very often. Grey Goose, straight, usually. I don't drink for flavor. I drink for the effect.
Do you have a favorite music genre?
Gosh, everything. I mean, I used to play guitar until my hands kind of went bad, but I was in several rock bands and used to have hair down to my shoulders. So, like Van Halen, Eric Johnson, of course, Joe Satriani, many of the great guitarists I really enjoy. But I like, shit, I'll listen to opera and, I mean, country western's cool. There's some good rap out there as well. So,
Do you have a favorite movie genre?
definitely science fiction, fantasy. No, when I watch a movie, I want to escape. I don't want to be involved in drama.
I feel the same way, man. I watch a lot of comedies because it's like I got enough drama already.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have a favorite cannabis movie?
Cheech and Chong. Obviously, if you watch my last video about Daily Dabber.
Right.
Yeah.
It's Dave. The next part is it's a speed round game, the 3-letter game. I spelled 3 letters, some of which are kind of controversial, and you tell me the first thing that pops into your mind.
All right.
DOG.
K9.
USA.
Used to be about freedom.
WTF.
Weed that's fire.
FBI.
Federal Bureau of Idiots.
THC.
Good medicine.
DEA.
Pure assholes.
CIA.
Well, They're even above the DA as far as assholes go.
GMO.
It can be good, but got to be careful.
BHO.
BHO.
Butane hash oil.
Oh, definitely.
I'm sorry, what was the answer on that one?
Yes.
SEX.
Of course.
CBD.
Very, very helpful, especially for football players.
GOD.
Prime creator.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Prime creator.
Okay. LSD.
Yeah, I did that.
And then OBE and an NDE. This is a simple yes or no. Have you ever had an out-of-body experience or a near-death experience?
Well, last night, yeah, we were talking about this on the panel at Dead Cynic's Insomniac session, which you guys should probably be at right now. Anyway, yeah, when I had heart surgery, they disconnected my heart and they put me on a machine, and the machine had some kind of malfunction. So I kind of died, I guess. I was technically dead for a bit. And I didn't really see any bright lights or anything like that. I just, as I mentioned last night, it was an overall feeling when I came out of it. Obviously, I survived. I had just a deeper understanding of energy and just an elated feeling of love. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So I don't know if that's out of body. I guess not really. I didn't. It's hard, as I said last night, it's very hard to explain these types of experiences. Mm-hmm. So I guess I could say yes on that.
Okay. And I call this the most important question on this show. What does Oogie Wawa mean?
You know, God, I have to be honest, I don't know.
Okay.
I really don't.
It's okay. Not everybody does. Oogie Wawa is just a word that means cheers in the Zulu language.
Okay.
Something I looked up a couple years ago, and I say it quite often. You know, nice. People are saying cheers, I say Oogie Wawa.
Well, cheers. Cool. Cool.
It's not really that important of a question. That's just me trying to be funny.
Well, you got to laugh out of me, bud.
Yeah. And the last question: who would you like to see interviewed in the future? Maybe like one or two people.
Wow. Turpy J. Turpy J and his dad. That's Stoney's brother.
Okay.
I love Turpy J. He's real, man. I like real people that are real. They're not trying to be fake. A lot of times because of the way I speak, I try to, my son says I'm a lecturer, but I'm trying to be, real. I guess maybe in a past life or something I was a teacher, I don't know. But that's what I prefer. I want real content, real people. And man, the 420 community is full of that. And it doesn't surprise me, quite frankly, because, cannabis raises your awareness and so you're much more aware of the connected consciousness spread. And everybody that's here watching, I really thank you for that. I mean, the community's been just awesome. Seriously.
Awesome. So right now we're done with my part, and I may have some quite additional questions as we get to the viewer questions, But if you guys in chat have some questions for Bingus, just go ahead and type them in. I'll read them out loud for the sake of the edited version. We got a statement. It's not so much a question, but I do like this statement. EA Stoner said, "Bingus, you are fucking awesome."
No, you are, sir. Thank you, man. Thank you.
I like that. Yeah. And I'm gonna smoke a bowl here with
Yeah.
you guys.
Load the bowls. Get your slabs out. Come on, get the torch. You know how it goes.
Cheers. Oogie Wawa. You know what Bingus kind of reminds me of? You ever see that frog with the song that goes like bing, 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 bing
Yeah.
a few years ago? We have a question here. Big Toke is asking, would you ever stop smoking weed?
Never. I had to stop. Now, let me rephrase that. Can't ever say never. Okay. When I was on paper, I could not smoke weed. So, yeah, that's not cool. It helps me with my blood pressure. My blood pressure is 110/80. That's amazing with the type of heart that I have. And it's because of this. It's because of this. It dilates your blood veins. It makes you live longer, friends. So I plan on being around a long time, and I will be smoking lots of weed. And I hope you all join me.
There's a lot of research that comes out almost on a daily basis about cannabis. One of the last articles I read said that cannabis smokers are more fit. They have a lower BMI index. I thought that was amazing because, you know, people normally think, oh, lazy potheads, having a munchies, eating all the time. It's just the opposite.
You know, I can be heavy if I really put my mind to it because I love to eat. I just, because I want to live longer, I have decided to watch my weight. I can look down and see my feet. I don't have as much hair, but I got a lot more face to wash, see? So, yeah.
Scuba Steve Speaks is asking a question. This is his like standard questions he likes to ask, and I appreciate that, Scuba. He's asking any kids. You have any kids, and how did you approach them about cannabis?
That's a good question. Yeah, I have 3 sons, and here's how I can answer that. I am not a hypocrite. All right. So they knew from day one, really. And I just would educate them. They all smoke weed. My youngest boy, he works for a dispensary. So, yeah, they discovered early on the benefits. And we're talking kids that are, whoa, my grow light just went up. We're talking kids that are honor students, okay, and smoke weed the whole way. So,
I have 4 kids. All of them knew since they were born, since they could see, read, hear, think. They were exposed to shoot. There'd be times I'd walk into the living room and I'd see my sons watching a documentary about cannabis on TV. Didn't ask them, you know, they were the kind of kids that would watch more documentaries than cartoons and other stuff. So, and not one of them decided to even try it. That was, you know, their decision, but it
yeah,
was an educated decision.
yeah.
You know, they look at it as medicine, and if they, you know, if they feel that they need it or whatnot, um, they wouldn't have a problem. Maybe one day they'll make it part of their diet. Like I said, I'm looking into eating sprouts and seeds, so we'll see.
Good.
Any more questions in the chat, guys? Um, let's see. Maybe I missed one.
I mean, this is your chance. Go ahead and hit me.
MD73 says, Bingus, please tell us the story about the first time you ever smoked cannabis and how old. So this is where we get to is we get questions that are asked in my standard questions, which is fine. You know, it's up to you if you want to answer that again or not.
Well, that was when I was 14. Like I said, I think I mentioned that earlier. And the senior guy on our track team, he's a record quarter-mile athlete, and he'd always disappear behind the dugout before he'd run the race, and he'd smoke a joint. And I went there with him one time. He kind of liked me. I was like a freshman or a sophomore, I forget. But I had kind of a pull in my leg, and I was running the half mile. He runs the quarter. And so I smoked the joint, and I was like, wow. I go, I can't smoke this before I run a race. And he goes, shoot. Oh, whoops. Probably shouldn't have said that. You need to get over here and smoke this joint. So I did. And I tell you what, I had the best race ever, my fastest time, even with an injury. So I was hooked.
Jack A420's in the house. He says, what's up?
My ninja. Yes, sir. What's up, man?
Mr. Sparks a lot says, it's amazing that your son is working in an industry that you got put away for.
Yeah.
Interesting times we're living in, huh?
Mr. Sparks a lot has a lot of knowledge. I'm sure, if you've ever been dragged through the Just Us, JUSTUS system, you start to realize that something's not right. And actually, my two oldest boys and myself, my youngest boy hasn't gotten in any trouble, but we've been put in cages for helping others, for selling it to doctors that treat AIDS patients, that were curing people of cancer. This is back several years ago. And I'm just very thankful that the world is starting to wake up, or the controllers are starting to have to retreat, because the masses demand this medicine. So I don't think we're going to be turning it back now.
Ford Dub Mob is asking a question, one that's part of the standard interview questions, but if you don't mind answering again, he says, does Bingus, or Ford Dub Mob's asking, does Bingus have a favorite strain?
Okay. Okay, yeah, I do, actually. All right, now that you make me think about it. It's no longer available. It's a strain I would like to breed with. It's called Alien Technology, and it was a Afghan strain brought over by a GI, and I think it landed in Southern California. But that was several years ago. But that's a base genetics for some of the best weed I've seen out there, and that's what Shockwave, for example, is half Alien Rift, which is got the alien technology genes in it, and it's half Shark Shock, right? And Shark Shock is half skunk and half White Widow, so it's got some excellent genealogy. And that's kind of what I'm into, is it's creating medicine that works for a variety of ailments. And to do that, you have to have a high terpene profile. And that means lots of crystals. And that's where the Alien Technology genetic strain really comes in. If you watch one of my videos, I think maybe Smash mentioned it earlier, Smash, where I basically, show you Starfighter. Well, Starfighter has 3 different strains of the alien technology, alien chem dog and alien OG and one other. Anyway, that's why. I mean, if you look at that video, the crystal content of those buds are so, it's dripping, it's oily, and it's just like Girl Scout cookies, if you know that strain. The buds don't get real big because they don't. How can they? I mean, they're being contained by all this crystal content. But man, when you smoke it, holy crap! Some of the best weed ever. So I don't know if that answers your question. And don't get me started on this subject, man, because I'll keep going forever.
I think that was a very good answer because, you know, rather than just one particular strain, you're talking about a strain that is in a lot of strains genealogy.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but you know, most of the time you hear the word alien, I think Romulan, like almost anything that has to do with aliens probably has alien technologies in it.
Yeah, probably.
Let's see, there's a few more questions here. This is a good one. Scuba Steve Speaks is asking, what bands were you in and what type of music did you play?
I was in garage bands. We would just musicians that would get together and play all the time. And then if there was a party or something, we'd all just get up and start playing. And I concentrated on Eric Johnson. And I tried to emulate a lot of his stuff. And I think I was able to play maybe one or two Joe Satriani songs. So it was basically heavy guitar rock. And we all had long hair and smoked a lot of weed and did all the other goodies that were out there at the time in the 70s and 80s. But no real name. It was just, you know, I realized early on, okay, that if you were going to try to make money in the music industry, you're going to starve. All right. And so I always had a job and I played music as a hobby. But, you know, I'd get called up, hey, man, we're having a session. I'd go there and fill in, or somebody'd be sick, I'd fill in. It was that kind of stuff, basically.
Big Toke has a good question. Has the strength of marijuana gotten stronger or weaker since your first doobie?
Well, much stronger, of course. Most people back then didn't know how to grow it. We used to have bags where you would take, because back in those days in the 70s and late 60s, you were smoking leaves, all right? It was bunk weed, basically. We didn't know. But you had a 5-finger lid, they called it. You take a baggie, put 5 fingers up and dump enough weed in to get up to 5 fingers, and you'd sell that for $10. And then I used to just be selling lids, we called them, all day long. And then when I first started growing, by accident, I learned that with light deprivation, you could make the plant flower. Mm-hmm. And I, you know, kind of took it from there.
Shaper 007 is asking, do you have a particular strain that you would use for pain?
Well, the Starfighter is really good because it's so strong. And there's another strain by Archive Seeds. They're out of Portland. I've been meaning to get over there to get some seeds. It's called Face Off OG. And my youngest son, was telling me it's the strongest weed he's ever smoked. And I had a strain that I lost because I didn't do a good job cloning. And the re-veg did not take of a strain called Scooby Snacks. And that was part Face Off OG. And man, that stuff was really good. It used to put me to sleep. I didn't smoke that during the day. It was kind of nighttime stuff. But Starfighter's really good. The alien technology strain is really good. If you can get alien anything, alien OG, Vader OG, it's got a lot of alien in it. some good stuff. You know, I don't want to, I know Cyclops genetics, so I don't want to talk about other genetics places, but there's places you can get.
Oh no, you can talk about whatever you want, brother. That we're not restricting you
Ocean grown seeds. Actually, in one of my videos, I think this morning, my live stream, I mentioned they have a seed drop right now. And it's, if you're interested in these types of genetics, that's where you get them. That's the best source that I've found. And I'm loaded up. I mean, as soon as I've been buying seeds from them for over a year, even before I started growing, because I knew they knew their shit. But they just made a seed drop. I explained on my live stream number 5, and I think I even had a link there with the password of how to get in and buy them. And they're very good people. I mean, I had a vial of Alien Rift that didn't turn out. Okay, they sent me a new vial, no problem. Hey, just here, sorry. You know, it happens. You know, and it does happen. So they're very, very good people.
I've got some comments here I wanted to read. Red Pill says, Brothers Grimm made my dream cross, genius times vortex. He also says, I love Starfighter, tastes like my grandma's lemon cake.
Yeah. That's the alien technology terpene profile. It's real lemony, but it's like a lemon gas, okay? Like a fruit gas. Huh. And it's like the shock wave because of the added skunk genetics. It's got a real, I call it, fruit gas. That's what I called the pheno. And I have one that's another one, 8 Mile High strain. I call it orange gas. It's real citrusy. So I like that, the different terpene profiles. I like that.
Any more questions, guys, in the chat? We got a few comments. Mr. Sparks a lot. Pound sign square grouper. Not sure what that is.
I don't know, sir.
He also said,
square grouper, I think is a strain. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah.
He also said hashtag face off OG.
Yeah.
I think you had mentioned that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mr. Sparks a lot. It sounds like you might be watching an earlier part of the video, possibly. I'm not sure. You might want to hit it 2x speed and it'll catch you up to be in sync with us. Any questions or comments in the chat? We've got just a few minutes left. We started, what, 50 minutes ago. Usually we don't go longer than an hour, and that's in 10 minutes.
That's cool. Gonna load up some shockwave right now. Just cheers to you guys.
Cheers.
Yeah, real lemony gas, basically. I love that fuely smell. Great when you can grow your own medicine. I like to watch people smoke my medicine. I want their real opinion, you know.
Yeah, the stuff I just grew, I feel like I'm blessed because only had 5 females that I was growing. And only one of those 5 is sweet. And I was looking for something sweet or maybe a little citrusy. I haven't had too many citrus, sweet, fruity type of strains in my life, and that's what I'm looking for. I also like the way they make me feel. They're a little bit more uppity, energetic and stuff. So I got this one that I love the smell of, and then when I smoke it, it just makes me feel good. It doesn't give me, I'm not too high, I'm not too low, I'm like nice balance. It's almost as if I'm not high. I just feel more normal or something. It's hard to explain. I mean, you probably know it's a hybrid feeling, I guess.
Well, you know, there's good daytime stuff, which I have, like Shockwave's real good for the day, and the 8 Mile High is real good because you can function. You feel euphoric yet functional and sharp, and you know. And then there's other strains like what did I smoke? Oh, Beta OG. Dude, I definitely don't want to have a day planned and start smoking that because I'm gonna, you know, probably want to take a nap eventually and just kind of chill out in bed more, you know.
Yep.
It's just nice to have the variety so that you can choose. Let's see, what do I feel like? You know, what do I feel like smoking? Shit, I used to have to smoke leaves. I mean, really? I look back at some of the stuff I used to smoke and I wonder, geez, no wonder I got bad lungs today.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, a lot of the country, believe it or not, for some people it's hard to believe, it's more than 50% that people smoke Mexican cannabis from Mexico, imported Mexican cannabis. I believe it's something like 70%. And it's mainly because you have the illegal states. Most legal states, whether it's medical or recreational, you don't hear too much about people smoking Mexican. All the other stuff's available. You know, the prices aren't bad.
Shit. In Oregon, we got connoisseurs.
Exactly.
I gave some to a guy, and there happened to be a seed in it, okay? Because one of my bag seeds burned, and it got some dust on some of the others. So I didn't get a lot of seeds, but this one bud had one seed. Shit, you thought I'd, you know, started a brush fire around his house or something. He was just furious. I'm like, okay, come here. And I weighed the seed, and
right.
I gave him that much weed for it.
I'd be happy to get a free seed.
That's what I was saying. I mean, dude, don't you realize you could just plant this and never have to see me again, you bastard? Anyway, most people don't do that.
NZL Gorilla Grow, or New Zealand Gorilla Grow, is asking, do you breed seeds, Bingus?
I plan on doing that, yes. That's why I want to get to a bigger facility where I can actually make breeding at least one breeding chamber, because you have to kind of keep them separate from the others. And I'm also waiting for another medical card in my family to show up so that we can grow more plants. And right now I just keep it extremely legal. It's run by the Liquor Commission, and as long as you're growing for yourself, they don't bother you at all. But if you start growing for other people, they want a camera on your grow. They want you to have a online reporting account so that you report every day how much growth, how much you harvested. I mean, shit, you know, last time you took a dump. I mean, it's crazy. So no, we grow for ourselves, and if there's other people that have cards, for example, that want to trade, or if they want to donate, no problem. I get a lot of clones that way from other growers in Oregon. But again, I mean, Oregon's a very conservative state. I mean, it's pretty. I've lived here pretty much my whole life. I lived down in San Francisco Bay Area for a while. But if you can make something happen up here in Oregon, you're doing pretty good, because it's not easy.
It's a good growing down south by California, right?
Yeah. Everything has to be done indoors here primarily. I shouldn't say that. There are parts of Oregon. I know a couple guys that do a lot down in Southern Oregon, but it's not quality. See, that's what bothers me about the industry too. Is guys are flooding it with volume that's just looks good, but if you test it, it's not that great. It's it's just standard stuff.
All right, we got 4 minutes left, and then we're gonna get going. I don't think there's any more questions. I guess we'll one last call for questions, comments. Dr. Purple OG just showed up. He said, "Hello, Bingus. Sup, Keith?"
Hey, Doc. Good to see you. Good to
Guys,
see all you people.
yeah, definitely check out Bingus. I looked at one video and I was pleasantly not I enjoyed it, is what I'm trying to say. And he edits the stuff too, you know, and I was surprised. I was surprised because it was a good video. There was like nothing wrong with it. It was quality, and I really appreciate that. I know that I try to make quality videos. It's not always the easiest thing to do, you know. So I appreciate the added editing you do to your videos. I think that's really cool.
Thank you, sir. Sparks a lot's giving me some love. Thanks, brother.
Yep, that's how I feel too, Mr. Sparks a lot. And his link is in the description. Go in there, sub him up, hit the little notification bell. And yeah, I'm gonna have
I always be subbing you back. If you sub me, I do go to your channel. I look at your videos, and more than likely, I will comment. So feel free. And take care, my friend. Stay lifted.
So once again, thank you very much for contacting me and allowing me to interview you. Thank you everybody in chat for showing support for the both of us. So that's pretty much it. We're ending here. I guess we'll end it right now. If you have any last words, I'll let you have last words, and then we'll get going.
That's all I got for you now, Cannabis Warriors. This is Bingus, signing off.
Perfect. Peace out, everybody. Much love.